So, Verlon, do you feel that you chose to be a songwriter, or did it choose you? In other words, is this a calling? And if so, how does that come about?
You know, I'm going to have to say it was a calling because my parents were, my dad graduated high school. My mom didn't even make it through high school. They weren't highly educated. They weren't dumb by any means. Trust me, they're very intelligent and smart people. But well, I guess what I'm getting at is I had no, you know, there weren't classic novels laying around the house. There weren't stories like that told. There were a lot of, you know, just everyday life kind of stories from friends and neighbors. And I don't know, I was just always attracted to it. From the very first time I got some records, or when I first started hearing the songs on the radio, it seemed like I was always attracted to the storytellers. Therefore, Merle Haggard. Plus, I lived in that area in Oklahoma where we lived. I could turn one ear to the west and I could hear Roger Miller singing about, you know, trailers for sale or rent. Dang me, they ought to take a rope and hang me. Just what a wordsmith he was. And then I could turn my ear a little to the north and I could hear guys like Leon Russell writing all these wonderful, soulful sounding hits. And J.J. Cale, he and J.J. Cale. And then I could turn it a little further in the other direction and I could hear, and you know, always on the wind in Oklahoma is Woody Guthrie. Mm-hmm. And so it was just, it's just in the wind. It's in the air there, and it always intrigued me. And I don't know how. One thing I do remember is that I might have been in the 4th or 5th grade. I had an English teacher that pulled me aside one day after we had to write a little essay. And she's the only one I ever remember, you know, kind of zeroing in on it. And she said, I think you're a writer. I think you could write. And she didn't say songs, but she said she called me a writer. And it's the first time anyone had called me a writer. And I think that it obviously stuck with me. I'm 65 years old, and I'm going back and remembering it. So,
wow.
Thank you, Miss Ladd.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a song that speaks to being called to be a writer?
Yeah, I think I do. I think it, you know, it kind of goes in a circular route to get there, but you want to hear it?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, it goes like this. That's a good question. I never thought about that. Once I was a Christian, I lived upon this earth. And then I died and went to heaven, where I got my second birth. And I came back as an acorn, and I grew to be a tree. And I made a mighty shade when the sun came down on me. One life I was an outlaw, I lived up in the hills. And I'd run the alcohol to the buyers from the stills. And at 100 miles an hour, on a downhill mountain road. I just turned into a white dove and I let go of my load. And then the last time I came through here, I was a summer wind, and I whispered on your wheat fields and I called a cool rain in. And I carried all your laughter and your sweet old fiddle tunes. Carried them right up through the rafters and sang them to the harvest moon. Once I was a singer, and music was my church. And I'd put myself through hell trying to write a perfect verse. So I came back as a chorus. That's the best part of the song. 'Cause all your friends remember and they all sang along. Like the Christian and the outlaw, and like the summer wind, and like the singer to the chorus, I will come back again. Like a singer to the chorus, I will come back again. I don't know. I don't know if that addresses it exactly the way you asked, but
oh, in such a beautiful way. I love it.
Yeah, it seems a lot of times that I have been here. That's the reason I wrote that song. And that song is one of those magical songs that you get once or twice in a lifetime that just fell out of the sky. I literally sat up in bed and felt this power surging through me, not knowing really, but it felt like a song coming on, and I went down to my desk, and that song just came out in one piece, completely, entirely, and when I'm getting choked up thinking about it, because when I finished, I wept, because it was just such a beautiful gift, and even I'd never played those kind of licks before. That melody, the whole, I don't know where it came from, but it felt like maybe it came from another place and another time, and maybe I've been there. I don't know, or maybe someone, maybe all the old dead songwriters that have gone before me sent it to me. I don't know, but it's certainly something I don't take for granted, the gift of being able to write a song and then share it with a group of people like this.
That's powerful. It is absolutely an amazing song. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.